Hello, hello. There's been some interesting colors and lights the minute that I called in the angels and the star beings and all of the powerful masters in and of the light. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday, happy almost solar eclipse. This is your, let's call it an angelic star cast where I come on and I channel messages, energy, healing to you, for you. Why? Because it brings me joy. Why? Because we are in this together and we need to support one another. Have I mentioned my name is Tina? And oh my gosh, my soul sister just popped on to say hi. Hey, Tiffany. So as you're coming on, please let me know you're here. I love you too. Hey, Jay. Pop on, let me know you're here. And let's do this thing where we're going to figure out. No, actually, no. We're not going to figure out anything. We're just going to, I guess the word I like to use is navigate these energies together. Hey, Rosalind. Hey, Amanda. So, how are you feeling? I ask you guys all the time. Lots going on, as always, but more intense than ever. I'll tell you what I've seen, and then I want to get into everything else. I've seen a lot of anger come up in myself and in others. I've seen, as we've been talking about all month, the contrast of emotions, of old stuff from our childhood, from our past. And it's all meant to be this way, okay? And it's about being the observer of it. It's about feeling what you need to feel. It's even about saying what you need to say. And then at times, guess what? I'm going to tell you the opposite. It's about being still and slowing down. And so hearing all this, it sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, doesn't it feel crazy? So you just have to honor where you're at. Just do your best. And oh gosh, all you guys are popping on. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Claudia. Oh, I love seeing you guys all come on. Sherry, sometimes you don't come on right away. So let's just start with what this is all about. It's about an internal transformation. And it has to be that way first. And how ironic that all this external stuff we're faced with. Because when we're triggered, it's a call to go inward. It's a call to really see, okay, why am I triggered? How can I heal this within myself? So the anger, the resentment, the judgment, the divide, all of that is an opportunity. All of it is, okay, why am I triggered? How can I be with myself here? And guess what? How can I love myself through it? What is my role? Okay? Where can I take responsibility for my part in this? Okay, so we have the solar eclipse coming up. Throughout the weekend, for some of you, it may get more intense. Emotions may be even more on the rise. But this is the good news. Solar eclipse is Monday. This is where it's the light at the end of the tunnel, and we have that new start where things do start to lighten up. But are you moving with the flow, or are you resisting it? Are you becoming part of the solution and loving, 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 or part of the problem and creating more of a divide, whether you're pointing fingers and blaming, or whether you're pointing fingers and blaming outside, either way. So how do we do this? Reflect. Again, see what your role is. And then I'm going to give you probably one of the most powerful meditations that many of you probably already know that you can do. And I'm going to share with you my experience. It's the Ho'oponopono. You guys know that? It's the Hawaiian therapist who cured a whole ward of criminally insane patients without meeting even one of them. He sat with their files. This is true. You can Google it. He sat with their files and he healed within himself all that needed to come up in order to heal others. Because remember, there is no such thing as the other. We've been talking about this too. Remember, the other person is you. One of my favorite things that my teacher in India has said, Tina, the only difference between you and me is that I see only one of us here. I say it often because we need to be reminded. So let's get back to the Ho'oponopono. I know some of you already know it, but I want to just tell you my take on it. After all of the violence this past week, I was in angst, I was angry, I was in rage, I was in tears. I almost threw up. It made me sick to my stomach. And it's like, what do you do? Right? And so many of you have reached out and you've said, well, what do we do? And you can feel helpless. And this is what you can do. I saw some of the actual people that were contributing to either the white supremacy aspect of things, or then it even took me back to 9/11 with terrorists. And you see all these pictures in your mind. I had the visual of different things. And so I went into meditation. And this is where it's hard, you guys. It makes me emotional just thinking about it. And I took the face of some of the beings that I was enraged at because of their violence, because of what they've done. And I looked eye to eye, and I just said, I'm sorry. Now you might think, why am I saying I'm sorry? I'm sorry for my role in looking at you through the eyes of hate. I'm sorry that when I see you, I get so angry at the hatred in your heart. And then what am I looking at? And what place am I looking from? So do you see how you have to really open your heart? It's not easy. And I just kept sitting there. I'm sorry, because that's the first step. Or I don't know the order of the steps. What's in my throat? Please forgive me. Forgive me that when I see the darkness in your heart, I go to that place too. I love you. It's hard, right? Thank you. Thank you for giving me this experience so that I can see you through the eyes of God, so that I can see you through the eyes of love. Now, we talk about that a lot, but we're putting it into perspective here. So let's just go back here. Then when I said, help me see them through the eyes of love. Again, I'm saying them, but it's through the context because I'm looking at myself. And I saw that these people that do these things, these violent things, are holding so much shame and guilt and abuse. They're holding so much anger and resentment because of things we may never know that happened to them, that they may have even come in with in other incarnations. And rather than, and some of the abuse they don't want to look at, because if they had to look at it, that's too much for them to handle. And so instead, it gets projected out. And guess what they need that they don't know? Love. So for you and I, that have the strength and the awareness and the consciousness to go to those uncomfortable places because we're seeing from a different space, it's our responsibility. I'm not saying don't get angry. I just told you I got angry. I cried. But then at the end of the day, what do you choose? So as I did it, I felt my heart opening. I'm not saying I'm completely there. But one by one, I just brought their faces in. And then even faces I don't know. And I just asked, and I just said, I'm sorry. For the part of me that sees you as separate. For the part of me that can understand the violence. Please forgive me. Because then I'm not seeing from love. I'm sorry that rage comes up. And so now I let go of that. And I ask to see through the eyes of love. And I love you. And I send you love. So see how we have to lift out of the human and lift out of the mind and go to the higher place. Thank you for giving me this experience. I can let go of my energy connection to it, and I can hold the space of love Because as I hold the space of love for myself, I hold it for humanity. I hold it for each one of you. So that's the big internal transformation. It has nothing to do with anybody else. But the more of the you and the me that do this, we come together as one. And it makes such an amazing difference. If you're holding on to the anger and the judgment, it's poisoning you. It's poisoning you. And it rots the inside. Eventually, it will become dis-ease. It already is a dysfunction. Be where you're at. You may only have a little bit of love and a little bit of compassion, but do you know how much that really is? Because we're talking about people that have none, that don't know it, and that are lost. And when I really tuned in, I saw little boys waving, just saying, hi, I don't know what love is. Hi, can I have attention, please? Hi, I'm scared. That's what's going on behind the scenes. But all we see is the hatred. Oh, Raph always comes in at the right moment. Hi, baby. Some wise animal souls here. So it's an opportunity for a new start so that we can bring in all of this love. What else? What else? Well, the cards, I guess. And so what are we saying when we have people that are abusive? Is that a reflection of ourselves? Everything's a reflection of ourselves. We came into this world choosing our life's lessons, choosing our parents, choosing how to grow and unfold. Not really the how, but choosing based on the past, our past experiences in other lifetimes. What happens is we get here and we forget. And then we get caught up in it all because it's so easy. You guys know that it is. But this is the opportunity to unlearn the conditioning and be more of the love so that we can remember that we are all one. And again, it doesn't have to look perfect and it can be up and down, but having the willingness to just be in that place of love is gosh, it's like you crack the door just a little to be willing. Angels, spirit, God, whatever you choose to call it, ushers in that love tenfold, hundredfold back to you. So let's look at the cards here. I said, what's going on? What's going on with us? And I got, look at this. And it was in reverse, trapped in fear. Yeah. When we get caught in our minds, when we see each other as separate, we're just in fear. We forgot who we are. We see, and look, his head's even in his hands. So it's like, okay, I know that I came into this world with the strength, with the light to not only lift myself up, but to lift others up too. And so I'm going to lift my head up and I'm going to use this fear and say, hey, fear, I don't need to listen to you. I get to really lean into the love and the angelic beings and the light that is not only all around me, it's right here. I walk around with it everywhere I go. I just forget because I'm getting caught up in what I see. What do I see from this place? Oh my God, I am the most powerful being because I am the energy of the Creator. So this is the problem, but we use it for our advantage. I got the waiting game when I asked, what do we need to release? So take a look at this card. I've got lights on in here. So there is a being here and he's walking around in circles. So this is our life. We walk around, but look, we don't walk around and go down. We walk around and then when we come, oh, there's that issue again, but now I'm up here. Oh, there's that issue again, but now I'm up here. Oh, there's that issue. You know, it's not really that much of an issue. So but when we forget who we are, we just think, oh shit, there's that issue again. Oh, what's wrong with me? No. We're growing, we're evolving. So it feels like a waiting game, but that's because we're caught in the fear, we're caught in the mind that there is this thing called time. I know it gets all trippy when you think of it that way, but we are being prepared. So this is about trusting. This is about knowing that we just need to release, that we need to be anywhere other than we are right now. Get out of here and into here. It's always the same message, but we need to be reminded again and again, don't we? You're in the perfect place. Remember Pema Chodron, this moment is the perfect teacher. All right, what was the next card? All right, in reverse, check your emotions. Why? Because they're coming up, especially this weekend. Chiron, which is that asteroid or that wound, it's somewhere in appearance this weekend, which just means childhood stuff may be coming up. Again, we've been talking about this. So check your emotions in reverse. I see that as feel what you need to feel. Okay? Have a dialogue with yourself. I've been journaling. I've been like literally journaling. Like, oh my gosh, jealousy's coming up. That's so old. And then I ask, where does this drive me? How can this serve me? What's my message here? Writing helps. Okay, so the emotions are just telling you where you are. They're giving you a check of okay, wow, let me just breathe through this. And then what do I need? Okay, so this is just releasing what doesn't serve you. What do I need to embrace? Now take a look at this. These cards, they've been coming up if you've been watching these lives. Do you see the light coming down, showering her? That's because you're being upgraded. I just heard that so loud in my receiving ear. I was just looking at his light. They're saying right now, you're being upgraded, you're being recalibrated, you are, they're even calling it like an up-leveling. So for you to be in this powerful, light, magnificent space where you know who you are, where you're in your power, where you're aligned with your purpose, where you realize nobody can hurt me. You can't be holding on to the old emotions, the negativity, and the feeling of being separate. That's why there's such an intensity right now. So that light showering you, look how it's glistening. Invite it in, bring it in, step into it. Okay? And then when I ask like clarity, like what is all of this for? Like what's our divine solution? 2 cards here. One, the horse one says know your power. And the other one says change is unavoidable. So when I ask like what does this mean? You are so powerful. You just keep forgetting. Now the change is unavoidable. It's not scary. It means that the part of you that's resistant to the change, the part of you that keeps looking to blame, whether you're blaming yourself or others, is keeping you in a hold, is keeping you in the waiting game. So change is unavoidable is a good thing because guess what? Your spirit is changeless. God, the infinite, the eternal, it's constant. It's unconditional love. It's always expressing. Love is infinite and eternal. It only knows itself. The change is all of the earthly stuff. That's always going to come in and out. But we go with the ebb and flow. We go with the expansion and the contraction. It's what I always call it. It's the dance. Okay? So when you know your power and you know who you are, you realize you're not this. You're not this mind. You're so much more. And then that's where the liberation comes. That's where the freedom is. That's where the light, the end of the tunnel, is just more and more light, more and more light. So the light is showing us more of the darkness. But you guys, this stuff that we're seeing in the news, it's always been there. We're just seeing it now. Why? Because truths need to be exposed. You're seeing it politically. We're seeing it everywhere. And it might feel scary, but it's a good thing because it means that more and more light is here. More and more people are waking up to it. And we have a job to hold more of it and to send it and to heal that place. And oh wow, thank you, Claudia. Yes, this is why we are here. You've heard the term light worker. You're a light worker. What does that mean? Doesn't mean that you have to walk around and be perfect. You can be your human self. You can curse if you'd like. I do. Yeah, I channel the angels and the star beings, and I curse. And sometimes I drop quite a few F-bombs, and you know what? Feels good. If you have an issue with that, it's not my problem. You know, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just saying it's like I need to be me. I need to be authentic. You need to be authentic. If that should change, and I want to, change something, then that's going to come from within. It's not going to come from anyone telling me anything. And I'm glad, Claudia. Oh, you're saying it's a release. I'm going to leave you with this. Yogi Bhajan says this: a good teacher, and you're a teacher. If you're listening to this, cannot need to be liked or care about being liked. A good teacher pokes and provokes in order to elevate, because it's in that poking and that provoking where the elevation occurs. So what that means is all of this stuff triggering you. It's great because it's showing you the places that you need to heal. Yeah, those buttons that are pushed, I don't like it any more than you do. I don't like how it feels. But then it's showing you, oh, I was triggered. Okay, wow, now I know what I need to work on. Right? So if you get poked and provoked, it's because you're elevating. If you poke and provoke others, again, it's not about them. It's about right here. Does that make sense? So again, it just comes back to you being where you are. If it happens to hurt someone's feelings and you didn't mean to, you say you're sorry. But you heal from here. Okay? Remember, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Whatever order you want to do it in. Light at the end of the tunnel. It's here. It supports you. So, please, if you like this message, I ask you to share it. Trying to grow this community here so we can just continue to shine this light for one another and to humanity. Okay? Yes, Shari, change is coming. In fact, change is here. If you'd like a personal session to go really deep, find out why you're stuck, how you can get unstuck, just reach out and let me know. And I might be popping on here and there to answer some of your questions because you guys have been asking, okay? I love you guys. I send you so much love. Peace and blessings. Namaste and Satnam.